Hi, my name is Charles Cranier. The title of my presentation is A Blended Learning Approach to Mathematics. I will present 7 points. The first one is the problem. Second one, the team. Third, student control. Fourth, teacher role. Number 5, physical space. 6, device needs. And number 7, the blended learning model. The problem statement. The problem is that the instruction is too fast for the classroom. Number 2, not only is the instruction too fast, but there's many challenges and issues arise when a child arrives in the classroom, such as below basic mathematical ability in the previous 3rd, 6th, and algebra levels. We also have transient students from in and out of other school districts. We also have the ever-changing math standards, or Common Core standards within states. We also have another problem that is persistent in the classroom is that the classroom size is too large and misappropriated teacher-to-student ratios are not conducive for student success. Where the average classroom size in the state of Missouri is 17-1, the district that I serve at, the students is 24-1. And this causes many problems with the class and the course. Large classrooms with multiple student dynamics is not the most optimal opportunity for students to thrive. On top of these several classroom dynamics, we also have a big percentage of the students at Grandview High School that have academic accommodations such as IEPs, 504 plans. Some of the students are homebound, and if students misbehave, they're in ISS or OSS. The second point, the team. To address the several problems in the classroom, I will address the classroom problems 3 ways. 1, individually. Number 2, geometry team. And number 3, the math PLC team. With the individual, the classroom teacher, as the problems arise, the teacher will incorporate a blended learning approach. I will incorporate a hybrid approach to the flipped classroom as the students cover the geometry or the algebra content individually at their own pace. As the students complete the flipped classroom lesson, I will address geometric or algebraic misconceptions and erroneous thinking. Students will also have the opportunity to review the lesson at their own time away from the class during the GHS or Grandview Bulldog Block intervention time, or they can complete it at home. I will provide students playlists or playboards and assessments to demonstrate learning. Number 2, the content team, specifically the geometry team or the algebra team. Within this team, I will collaborate with other teachers, geometry teachers or algebra teachers, in order to share the responsibility of creating videos for the student learning. We will also reflect on best practices of teaching and learning. We will collect data to track students' understanding. And the last thing we'll do is we will look at student work to address classroom problems that may exist. And the last point here will be the math team. It will be our professional learning committee, specifically the math department at the high school. Lastly, the entirety of the math department will provide solutions to classroom problems that continue to persist. As a department, we will look for solutions through professional development and or math workshops, including in the math developments or professional developments. The math department will analyze the current curriculum and resources for the students. Upon critical review, the math teachers will make decisions on the direction of the course to address the problems. The third point to a blended learning approach to mathematics is the student control, which is one of my favorite points here. So the student control will consist of 3 points: the flipped classroom, the path boards, and the reflection. The flipped classroom, presenting a flipped classroom where students can learn foundational mathematical content at their own pace, would be ideal for this urban and diverse student population. The student can slow down, or the student can speed up the instructor's created videos with the embedded questions to check for understanding. The students who excel in learning the mathematical content can dive deeper into enriching assignments that are challenging and thought-provoking. The students who are struggling can work on remediating the lesson or assignments through online tutorials such as iExcel. The second point here is the path boards. The path boards, I want to create an atmosphere where students can thrive and excel in this goal. Path boards will give the students a choice in selecting activities after they watch the video and participated in the interactive embedded questions. Path boards will give the students a choice in selecting activities that can assist and further their learning. Allowing students to academically select activities with tiered activities can allow less frustration and allow for more mathematical, pleasurable experience. The path boards will have several activities such as Socrative activities, quizzes, Google Forms, iExcel lessons, Quizlet flashcards, and creating an infographic. Some of the path boards that I've created is number 1, which is, here's an example, where the students will start and finish. The students will begin with an activity, usually through Google Forms or Socrative. They'll move on to the checkpoint, where we'll use Kahoot, quizzes, formative, any assessment, online assessment, where they can receive feedback instantaneously. If they do well, they get to slide over to the research, where they'll look more deeper into the topic. If they don't do well on the quizzes or the formative assessment, they'll watch the video again, with maybe an emphasis on a point or two. They'll move back into a checkpoint using Google Forms, and then they'll complete their path board with an activity of their choice. Another path board example is that they'll begin and finish working through questions within the class period. Usually the questions are about 3 questions to 4 questions. All of them are formative, and all of them give them instant feedback. Some on Google Forms, some of them are in iExcel, and some of them are formative. The last point in student control is the reflection piece. At the end of the lesson, the students will have the opportunity to reflect on the lesson. The students will have the opportunity to reflect upon the unit as well. The reflection will serve as a formative assessment for student understanding. Students that do not understand the lesson will have opportunities to utilize the resources or the extra resources given in the unit template. The students will mark down if they don't get it, if they can do it with some help. They can do it all by themselves, or they can teach the lesson. And they will fill this out, and I will be able to have access to the reflection template. The fourth point, the blended learning approach to mathematics, is the teacher's role. In the teacher's role, the major role that I will play would be the preparation and the planning and the facilitating when all the activities are done. The planning and the preparation. Before the flipped classrooms, they all had to be created. So the creation of the lesson videos were challenging and time consuming. Each video was created using an existing PowerPoint, which introduced key concepts, standards, lesson examples, and guided practice problems for students to work independently. Using Screencast-O-Matic, I was able to record the lesson presentation with accurate and precise teacher annotations. Upon completion of the recorded video, it was uploaded to YouTube and published. The YouTube geometry video was then uploaded to PlayPosit, which is an interactive web-based technology tool to hold each student accountable for the lesson video at home or in class, with the embedded questions throughout the lesson. The PlayPosit bulb was then linked to the school Google Classroom stream. The PlayPosit arranges each video or bulb for all the students and records the completion of the video lesson. The students have several opportunities to complete the bulb if scores are not 70% or better. Next, a playlist was created to enhance the students' note-taking skills and comprehension. The students' playlist included the lesson notes to follow the teacher-created video on PlayPosit, practice skills, and worksheet assignments. I have also created math workshop models. The first one was the task and share, the whole, small, and whole group model, and the small group with task. The task and share was we begin class with a number sense routine, then we'll do a task, and then the students will share and then eventually reflect. With the whole, small, whole, we'll start off with number sense routine. We'll do a focus lesson where I will lead it, and then we'll break up into different individual rotations or individual stations with a reflection at the end. The last one was a small group with tasks. And the students will work on their PlayPosit, flipped classroom, and then work on their individual rotation stations. The physical space. Physical space will include a flexible seating arrangement that I hope and wish to have for the fall and spring semester next year. The model will look something of an X right in the middle, where I will conduct all my business right in the middle of the classroom. So I have a couple tables alongside, two of them on the side, and groups of 4 with tables. If this model doesn't work, then I'll like to try my next option would be tables spread across the room with a dry erase top so that students can work on the dry erase boards. Also, I will try out this model with the tables and students working in groups of 4, where I can rearrange the tables if needed. The 6th point will be the device needs. Device needs, since we are a one-to-one school, all the students will be provided a 11-inch MacBook, and the MacBooks are used at school or at home. And the students will provide their own internet access at home. Unless they cannot, then we will provide a Sprint mobile hotspot to obtain the internet access. And the last step here for the blended learning approach will be the blended learning model. The blended learning model that I will use will be a rotation model with a flipped classroom dynamic and an individual rotation. This is Charles Crinier. Thank you.